Give you some hints on when you're buying boots about what type of sole patterns you want to look for, depending on your application. Now, I know one thing that's very popular, and these are worn out boots. I mean, I got lots of boots. I got other ones that are brand new, mil spec, that I don't wear. I usually wear the older ones first, so I'm showing the older ones. The Vibram lug, the Vibram yellow tag, is very popular. But I'm going to tell you that I don't like it, though, to tell you the truth. And actually, I got a lot of boots that are like that, because that was what they resold in the military, resold, you know, as in put new soles on in the military most of the time. They had another type, which I don't have here, that had very aggressive treads going this way, with just that way. It was like a bunch of wedges, it looked like. Those were great. I don't even know where the hell you buy those. I don't even see those around anywhere, you know, where they resold boots and stuff. But those were really good. They cost a few bucks more too. The reason I can't stand Vibram soles most of the time is they're good like in loose dirt, maybe wet grass or something like that. But when mud or snow, or especially like clay, wet clay, forget about it. They clog up right away. And you can see, even though the more worn down they are, actually the better they work. Now, not all Vibram lug soles are exactly the same. Look at this one. It's got 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 6, I think 8 lugs on there. And this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's spaced out further. You notice these actually work halfway decent. I think that's an older brand of Vibram lug too. What I like though is what you call the Panama sole, and these are basically off boots that, or the leather fell apart on them finally. I use them all the time because this is they're worn down, but you can see this is how the Panama sole goes. They just be blocks and they clear up right away. They're not like tight blocks. These open up. You should see how their pattern is right here. Those are excellent. They're called a Panama sole. They'll work very good in mud and also snow. And I think the only place they don't work as well is maybe on, I mean, they pretty much work everywhere. I mean, maybe I don't really understand how these patterns came out with these Vibram lug soles like this. These definitely fill up right away in slippery conditions. It's, in other words, they don't fill up in conditions where you're not going to fall and slip anyway. So, I mean, I don't really like them, to tell you the truth. Now, with snow, if you're using snow, and actually this probably works fairly decent for mud maybe, but the Panama lug soles are best for the mud. They're actually far more pronounced than this, but they're just straight lines like that. But for snow, what you want is something like, you don't want Vibrams unless they're really, you know, if it's a Vibram lug pattern, you want them way opened up. You want something like this, where it just gives you a little more texture to grip the snow, and you know, it's just a little more surface area. So in other words, when you compact the snow, you'll see this imprint. With these, these being worn down, they'll work better. When they're brand new, they really suck, the Vibram lugs. These actually work fairly decent because they're more open. It's a very popular pattern. I don't understand why it sells though. That's crazy. It looks badass and more aggressive, but it really doesn't work out as well. But if you're using for snow and cold weather, usually something like this, where you don't want too aggressive of a pattern and you want something where it's more open, like that, so they could self-clear. Like these are snow boots here. And actually, if you notice on all my boots, I keep knives on them too. There's a knife here, there's a knife here. I think there's a knife on this. Well, that's the same one. There's one on this one here someplace. Well, maybe not. But most of them do. Most of them actually have knife holders on them. That's something else I like to do. But my advice, actually, when you're looking at boots, for the most part, avoid the Vibram lug sole pattern. I don't like it. I personally don't like it. Well, and it's not just me. I remember in the military, everybody hated that, because every time we went out in the field, and you got encountered any kind of mud, it was basically like wearing a slick surface, because they just got clogged up with mud all the way. You wanted the Panama lug soles, and actually these Panama lug soles would work very well in snow too, because they just enough grip. You don't really need nothing special. So these I like the best, except for there's one I don't have out here. It looks like a bunch of triangular ridges. I swear to God, it almost looks comical. It's like real thick when they're brand new, and they're fairly expensive. I don't ever see anybody resole them like that around commercially. I saw them on base, and they come up like in ridges, just straight ridges, nothing going this way. But pretty much that's all you need, you know, because you know, having a foot where it goes, you know, this isn't like, your foot isn't like a tire. Like with a car, you need lateral stability and stuff. With your foot, you can take your foot, you see you got your foot on the ground like this. You could, if you're slipping, you can turn your ankle like this a little bit and it'll grab, you know what I mean? So, if you're looking for snow boots, Vibrum's bad. If you're looking for mud boots, Vibrum's bad. You want something either that doesn't have a very aggressive tread, something like that, or definitely with the Panama lug soles. So, I don't know why. If you look in most of the boots that are Chinese knockoffs, they copy this pattern or something like it. But if you're going to get something like that, again, look for something that maybe if it has that Vibram. These are Vibram lug soles. They're very old. They're still around. You know, had them for a long time. Quality USA construction. But look for something that's more open versus something that's tight like this. Those clog right up. I mean, they're great if you're just going to be mowing the lawn with them or something. Yeah, I mean, wet grass or something, they're fine. Some loose dirt, fine. Otherwise, they suck. I can't stand them. They're bad on snow, they're bad on mud, they're bad on any kind of conditions that are more slippery, which is where you would think you need a more aggressive pattern. What you want is an aggressive pattern that's very open. The Panama lug sole, or I don't know what you call those other ones. Like I said, it looks like a bunch of triangular ridges. Boy, that thing, those were the best, definitely by far. But you know, I don't see those sold in stores anywhere, and I don't even see those being resold anywhere. Those are only on base. But you find these Panama lug soles. Now, one other thing. Do not ever get. I know some people do, but in my opinion, do not ever get these knockoffs of military-style boots. They're junk. You know, you're paying $30 for boots that look exactly like they're made out of the military style, and they're leather. They will fall apart real quick. You would be better off buying a used pair of GI boots, which I have one right down here. These are used, man. I've been using these every day for like a long time now. They're still good. They got the Vibram sole thing on them, but I don't like go up muddy hills with them, you know. You'd be better off buying a used set. And when I bought those used, they look like brand spanking new. Be better off buying a used set of U.S. military boots for like $35-40. They may be retail for $155 to $175. Then buy any freaking knockoff lookalikes that say military style. Look for that buzzword, military style. Then also look for what country they're made in. Avoid those like the plague. They will fall apart. Down in here, freaking forget it, man. I mean, sure, you maybe can wear them around casually around the house and they'll hold up. But if you take them out in any kind of adverse conditions, they will fall apart. There's a reason why they're $30, $35 boots. And, you know, the ones that are for the mil spec are $155 or $175 or whatever the hell they are. Get used ones. Don't be afraid to get some used stuff if it's in A1 excellent condition. When I bought my boots that were used, they were like $35 delivered, and they looked like brand spanking new, and they were super clean and all that other stuff. So that's another tip. Anyway, and try to find stuff with this Panama lug style sole. Those are excellent for traction.